Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you for being with me again today. The Ukrainians apparently, I use this because all the information coming from the war zone could be inflated, deflated, spinned, and thrown at us, vomited at us actually. And you can't be certain, obviously, of whatever happens over there. But lately, 2 days ago, or yesterday actually, I uploaded a video talking about an attack on Russian soil conducted by an Ukrainian helicopter that shot two rockets and destroyed certain things over there. Now it seems like this occurred again, but in a different way. Again, the Ukrainians seem to increase their frequency of attacks of Russian targets in Russia. I don't know if they're necessarily military targets, civilian targets, strategic targets, logistical points, ammunition depots. Nevertheless, this one is from Ukrainska Pravda from June 15, 2022. And the title says that Russia claims Ukraine opened fire on Russian checkpoint in Kursk Oblast. Kursk, remember Kursk? When two armies met face to face, not in the cities, going around hiding behind civilians and then shooting at you, and then when you shoot in, collateral damage, you cry, "Oh, see, they're killing civilians. What were you doing in the city?" So yes, Kursk, yeah, but you can say, well, what about Stalingrad? That was Stalin's city. It has some significance, if you know what I mean. So, and not only that. Roman Starovoit, the government of Kursk Oblast, claimed that Ukraine shelled the Krupets checkpoint in the Rilsk district of Kursk Oblast of the Russian Federation on the morning of June 15th. And I'm quoting, at 7:30 a.m., or it doesn't even say, but I'm assuming it's military time, 7:30 a.m. Today, the enemy shelled the Krupets checkpoint in the Rilsk district from the Ukrainian side of the border. There are no casualties or damage. End quote. The Russian government's governor said that the Russian border guard allegedly repelled the attack by launching counterfire. Significance. Russia began its full-scale invasion, blah, 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 having failed to capture Kiev, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. Russia continued to open fire on towns and villages near Ukraine-Russian borders in the Chernihiv and Sumy Oblast of Ukraine from within its own territory. So there, what I have here, it was that the Russians are invaded. They are losing because they somehow failed to conquer something they never tried, which is Kiev. Then they say that the air forts in eastern and southern Ukraine are slow, and then they also say that they shoot at the Ukrainians from their territory. Therefore, all these things come to say that the other side is entitled to shoot inside Russia, which they are. The Ukrainians are 100% entitled to shoot within Russia, not civilian targets, obviously, but if they feel like that's a war. This country, I'm looking at the Ukrainian side. This country attacked my country, so what? I'm not supposed to hit you back or something? We fight only here because you say so? No, if they can, I mean, if I were, for instance, let's say Ukrainian, I don't know, but I think all this thing is controlled, to be honest, is limited. The Russians are refraining from doing certain things that they could do. The Ukrainians are the same, prevented from doing certain things they could do. It's just like they fight with so many, I would say, restraints. If the Russians wanted to just push a few buttons and raise the cities, that's what I mean. If they really are, as they say, the corporate mass media says, they are just murderers and they're terrorists and all that, and they did not succeed to take Kiev. They didn't have to take Kiev. Done. And yeah, we are war criminals. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. So it could be like that, I mean, when you call a child, so again, if you call a child, well, you're not good, you're not good, you're not good, the kid's gonna say, okay then. His head is gonna get the idea that he's not good, and he's gonna even change his perception of reality, and he's gonna be a not good. He's gonna just identify with the label put on him. It's not me, it's studies. And I'm just saying this. And the same here, if the Russians say, okay, you call us this, you call us this, then we're gonna show you how it is. And then we live up to your labels that you put on us. And then the Ukrainians can take a few Sukhoi or MiGs. That'll take about 15 of them or 20. I think they get them, they have them, and just go and from 20 you just fly a little bit in and you shoot a few targets over there, and I'm assuming they're not going to be all shut down if you fly low. So there you have it. But they don't do that. Why? I think it's controlled. They know, they communicate, and they communicate behind. Like the United States, the NATO helps Ukraine. We know that with the intelligence, with this, with that. It's okay. It's all right. But the Russians also communicate with the Americans. I guarantee you that. Militarily, I'm talking. And not only that, they have communication that we obviously do not know and will never know about it. Maybe in 50 years when they declassify certain documents. And but I'm just saying, yeah, the Ukrainians, if they want to shoot, I don't know what the surprise is. Maybe it's just and the Russian says, well, if you attack our land, we're going to do this. You just attacked our land, right? I mean, if you take it that way, right? The Russian troops are in what we call, let's say Ukrainians, we call Ukraine. So you are in my house. So I'm going to shoot at your house, right? All right, so on June 14, President Zelensky said that Ukrainian people are not terrorists and therefore would never fire on residential area in the Russian Federation. Well, that's not a medal of honor, that's normality. Move on, Zelensky. Don't put a medal for that. The West, and I have doubts because we know how wars are conducted, we know how military behaves, all military. There's no perfect army, just so you know. The West has been reluctant to supply Ukraine with long-range weapons for fear of provoking Russia. Again, limited. Everything is limited. On June 1st, the US President Joe Biden announced a new package of aid for Ukraine, which includes high-mobility artillery rocket systems. Western countries are supplying Ukraine with multiple launch missile systems, MLRS, which Ukraine desperately needs, on condition that these weapons not be deployed to attack targets within the Russian Federation, within the territory of the Russian Federation. See, again, I give you this, but limit. If it's war, it's war. And then they say, no, it's total war. The Russians are involved 100%. They're not. Russia has been so riled up by the supply of MLRS to Ukraine that Dmitry Medvedev, deputy head of the Security Council of the Russian Federation, announced that Russia will attack decision-making centers in Ukraine, which, according to Medvedev, are not located in Kiev. Where are they? Are they in Poland? We'll find out. So it's a very limited war, and with all this limited war, people die, a lot of people die, a lot of refugees, a lot of destruction, and a lot of profiteers that make billions of dollars. Billions. That makes you wonder, man, how lucky those are. The energy companies, the banks, and the military-industrial complex. And we know how democracy works in certain states, and you have campaign donations and special interests. So you might make some connections that are not supposed to be made, I guess. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.